Man, we haven't been together since July 9th, and I am so happy to be back with you guys. There has been so much going on for this year, 2020. Man, we had our visions ready, we had our goals going, and I don't know what happened. Well, what happened was the novel coronavirus COVID-19 that made us switch and pivot and change. And we had to figure this thing out. It is your homegirl, MoMo Love, bringing to you many voices of the community. And the one thing that I love about 2020 and making us, pivot and turn on a dime is that so many things have changed. So many things have made us focus or refocus. And I am so happy to have here with us tonight a dance hall promoter. She's the host, an event planner, if you will, on-air media personality. She's a producer of Love and Dancehall, Miss Ida Blanco. Hello, beautiful.
Hello, you make me sound so wonderful.
You are.
Hi.
Welcome, welcome, welcome.
Thank you for having me. I was enjoying your intro.
Well, thank you.
So
I mean,
continue.
honor has to be mentioned when honor is due. You know what I mean? So that's just it. Thank you so much for answering the call.
Oh, thank you for having me. I was
Yeah.
looking forward to this. I thought we would do it in person, but
I wanted to.
as you say, COVID happened. But we're here. Thank
We're
you.
here. We're going to make it do what it do, because one thing I know about Ida Blanco is that she is a thinker as well as a doer. Things are always executed with precision and with purpose. And names are important,
Okay.
Uh, it can make or break your brand. As you know, you're a businesswoman. You know how things are. Ida B. Wells was an American journalist, an educator. She was the leader of the early civil rights movement, founder of the National Association for the Advancement of Colored People, what we know today as the NAACP.
Yes.
Why Ida E. Wells? And what does that E mean?
E is for Evelyn.
Okay.
That is my middle name. And
Okay.
Wells is my married name. I'm now divorced.
Wow.
Made
Okay.
the decision to keep the name. And it's funny because I have a picture of when I went to the African American Museum, and I took a picture in front of her display. Of course,
Okay.
we learned about Ida E. Wells, but standing there and looking at her display and seeing her living on.
Yeah. Yeah.
I took a picture as motivation. It's like, okay, Ida, you have to leave your mark on this world because you now have the name of someone great. So what are you going to do with it? And so people think Wells is a pen name because they're used to Ida Blanco and all of that.
Yeah.
But no, Wells is my legal last name.
Love it.
I decided to keep it only because at the time I had already started getting television credits and stuff with that name. So
Okay.
I decided to keep it. My ex didn't have any issue with it. And then now, here we are. I'm an author.
Yeah.
So it is.
What I love about what you said, that you took a picture in front of Ida B. Wells and you manifested knowing that this name is a name that must be lived up to, because this is not the first, nor will it be the last time that people ask you why Ida and the Wells part, right?
Yep.
So I want to talk to
Where that
you
come
about.
from? Yeah.
I want to talk to you about, because like I said, a lot of things that you do, you set out with this mission, with this vision in mind. And many of us listen to so many get well or motivational speakers, or, teaching you how to advance in this thing, what we call life, teaching you how to reach your goals, turning that vision into a reality. There are so many things. And I love that you always step out on faith. And with your master class, your coaching class, of course, we have to take the class ourselves, but what is one of the takeaways that you tell people to just get out there, put one foot in front of the other? This is how you manifest your dreams.
Yes. To me, there's no such thing as failure. And that's what I want to stress to people, because I think that's what keeps them from actually stepping out and trying. What do you mean? Yes, it is. What if this doesn't work? What if people don't like it? What if, and then you end up not doing it? I mean, I experienced those same emotions, believe it or not, but I've learned how to push past them and just say, you know what? If it works, it works. If it doesn't, that means there's something I need to tweak, because my blessing is still there for me, but not this way.
Yeah, yeah.
So it's just understanding. The biggest thing is understanding timing and God's timing. And it doesn't happen on your time, it happens on his time, but it's right on time. And once I recognized that and kind of understood that, that's when, like you said, I've been able to manifest things. Because, you know, when COVID first started happening, I was like, wow, Ida, this would have been the ideal time for people to read your book. Why didn't you have your book done? And then it was like, stop. Now work on it. Now you're home. Work on it. Get it done. And so I understood it happened when it was supposed to.
Because you manifested this 2 years ago, maybe even more.
Right.
But 2 years ago that you actually spoke it into existence.
Yeah.
And I guess, I mean, you didn't have anything else to do but write a book.
At the time, no. At the time, I was, and I talked about this, I said it even in the intro of the book, like I was in a very dark period in my life when I started writing. And writing for me was just a distraction. It was like, all right, let me find something to take my mind off of what's going on in my life. And, you know, once I got past that part of my life, I got writer's block, because it was like, all right, I'm no longer in that space.
Yeah. What do I do to move me?
Most of 2019, I was like, I just don't know. It's not coming to me. And then it was like, I didn't come when it's supposed to. So I'll pick it up, I'll work on it. And then it's like, okay, I don't know where to go from here. So the process, it took a while, but I was patient enough to say, all right, take your time, because you have one chance to make a first impression. I tell people that all the time. And a lot of people see the end result, but they don't see I spent days, weeks, hours, months, years building a solid foundation before I do anything. So there's a lot of energy and time that goes into preparing, building my house. You guys may just see the finished product, but there's a lot that goes into it. There's missteps.
And I love that segue, because as I think I ordered the book a week or so ago, and as I was sitting and anticipating and checking my mail just as much as I was for my stimulus check, I received my purple package. And you know, you talk about building your brand, and from the bottom up, something as small yet large as your packaging. What even in the detail of this? Because you could have put it in a brown paper bag.
That's just me. I'm very visual, and I'm gonna tell you what happened with that, because I'm very visual. So it was like, I want something bright, I want something colorful, I want when folks get it, they're like, yes. And then I purchased them, and then I went to ship, and they actually were heavier than just the regular white, similar to that white, and cost 3 times as much.
Wow.
So I had to scale back. So only the folks that pre-ordered got the bright pink ones.
Ow.
Everybody else that has ordered since then have just gotten the white bubble envelopes, because it's like, all right, you gotta.
Sorry for ya.
You gotta look at the bottom line here. Like, does it make sense for you to spend that much money when you can get way more for less? So,
and even still, I know that it will still be a beautiful packaging, because it's just who you are and what you want to exude, and almost what we expect from you.
Yes.
Is that kind of daunting, what we expect from Ida Blanco, because she consistently puts out good products?
No, because that's what I put on myself. I constantly challenge myself I constantly raise the bar for myself. So the expectation isn't necessarily from others, it's from me.
Okay.
You know, I
Yeah.
believe presentation is everything. So you'll always see me package whatever I do and put it, but it has to be pleasing to me. It has to feel good to me. It has to look good to me. So it's not about.
I think that's important. I think it's important when you think about what you're setting out to do. Would you really buy this? Would you really look at this? Would you really sing my song? So I think that's so important. Talk to us about investing in yourself.
That's layered, multi-layered, because I think investing in yourself spiritually far outweighs investing in yourself financially.
Wow.
Talk about
wow. Wow.
Because it all starts with this right here. And nothing else will work. Nothing else matters. Nothing else will happen or move for you if what's going on in here isn't dealt with. And that's why my journey took 2 years, because I had to deal with what was going on in there. But I realized I had to change who I was, how I thought. Everything about me had to change in order for me to be the person I am today, to put forth this book and be an author. So investing in yourself means that healing process.
Yeah.
Pulling out the layers, getting deep, digging out all of that is the best investment you could do. And it's not pretty.
No, it's not.
Feel good.
It is not by any means. And you know what? You get into that in this first. Can we talk about this?
Let's talk about it.
Don't be afraid of my notes either.
Notes. Oh my goodness.
Don't be scared.
Okay, let's go.
Can we get into this? Yes. First of all, is this a stock picture, the man and the woman, or is this a stock picture?
Yeah, it is for commercial use. But the picture, the image in the background is actually from my party, my all white in 2013, I believe.
Okay.
That's an image provided by JL Entertainment, Delano, from that.
Beautiful.
That's from my party. So it has, and white is my favorite color, even though technically it's not a color. So
I wore all white for you today.
Yes, that's why the book is white. I would have had a white suit on the back if,
Yeah, and definitely for the presentation. It's beautiful.
Oh,
it is beautiful. You look exactly like an author that you are.
Oh, thank you.
It's beautiful. It's beautiful.
Yes.
So, all right, let's get into this thing. All right.
Okay. Where you want to go? Let's go.
We're going all over the place. Trust me. First of all, 15 characters.
It was 15 in all?
You see my note?
Wow, okay.
15 characters. Right. How in the world did you develop? Because, see, I've interviewed authors before, but mainly self-help or exercise type. I've never interviewed an author that has done a novel. So it's one of my first questions is always, how do you develop those characters? Were they systematic or as the story developed?
As the story developed. Really and truly. And the story developed over a 2-year period. So of course, Rattie was first. I started with him. I knew what direction I wanted to go in with him. But then as time went on, it was like, okay, I need to add more people to this story. I did do a lot of research on character development. I found a spreadsheet initially that took you through the process of saying, okay, what do they look like? What's their date of birth? What's their zodiac sign? Eye color, hair color? Where do they work? Just trying to really create these people in real life in my head. So if Rattie is, hypothetically speaking, a Libra, I know Libra tendencies.
Right.
That as a part of, his storyline and stuff like that. So I spent a lot of time creating them really in my mind. Like my process for this book was more visual. Mm-hmm. It's like I would sit and play out the scene like I'm watching a movie. And once I get to a point where I can, I get like a minute in the conversation, then I would write it out. So
Okay.
mostly in the beginning, I wrote down conversations between people. Afterwards is when I went back and filled in, okay, the scene. And my editor helped me with that. She's like, you have to give more description as far as what's going on, like sitting down, looking at TV, or scratching their hair, or you got to get more visual with what they look like.
I was so thankful for that because I am a reader. All right. I have to give away books every year because I buy way too many books.
There's no such thing.
I was so happy to know that they were looking over something or you were explaining how they were doing certain things. So I was like, yes, I was right there when I was seeing them do this. So I really enjoyed that piece because I think that's difficult, and even so, the dreams that people are manifesting for you that Love and Dancehall turns into a movie. You get that, you understand that visualization as they're driving down 295 or the Baltimore-Washington Parkway for people who've never been to this area to understand what it is. So I thank you, ma'am.
You're welcome.
Okay, so
be as realistic as I saw it. I saw it, but I wanted you guys to see it because, like you, I'm an avid reader as well. And the best books are the ones where you're reading and you feel like you're actually there. And by adding, Baltimore Washington Parkway, or they live in Greenbelt, or even adding a couple of DC Dancehall people to it to make it more realistic.
I loved it.
Yes,
I loved it. So Rattie was born and raised in Kingston, Jamaica, and through a series of events, Rattie makes his way to the U.S., Maryland, Prince George's County of all places. And so why was D.C. the stage for Love and Dancehall?
Because that's where I experienced love and dancehall. I started going out in DMV dancehall in the 90s. So where, you know what I mean? Like, that was the best place for me to set the stage for this. Even though I live in Atlanta now, I still consider DMV home. And if I'm going to reference any part of dancehall, of course it's going to be where I spent,
a lot of your time. Yeah.
Decades.
And so, here's the thing though, you say it's fiction. You use some dancehall personalities. I know Benji, and Benji has a sister, Ida. This fiction.
Okay. Benji has a sister.
Now everybody gonna be looking at each other sideways, talking about I knew she was talking about. But no, we know it's fictional. But you know what I do want to get into though? Loyalty. This book to me is filled with loyalty, acts of loyalty, questions of loyalty. And, I guess for those who really don't know about dancehall, because your dream is for this to be read by everybody, not just people who are in dancehall, right?
Right.
So, and I love how you go into the aspects of dancehall, which we'll also get into. But when it comes to loyalty, the relationship between, first of all, there are so many relationships that I love. But the relationship between Rattie and Stacy, it just shows how the loyalty between men and women go. Talk to me about that aspect of not just love in dancehall, but love in general, when a man and woman are really down for one another.
Yeah.
And the things that they will do for one another that is exhibited here in Love and Dancehall.
Yeah. I spoke about this on my blog a few years ago. I think it was 3 years ago, where I ended up in a situation where I was in the wrong place at the wrong time and ended up at Upper Marlboro for 2 weeks.
Okay. And Upper Marlboro, like on DRC Place or?
Upper Marlboro Correctional Facility.
Okay.
And a lot of the females that I was locked up with were there because of their boyfriends.
Wow.
Including me at the time. So it was, I wanted to touch on that because I feel like all of us have experienced that, where you're loyal to this guy, but your loyalty can get you in trouble. So not only did we deal with that with the female, I also jumped into that with the male relationships. Because loyalty is a tricky thing. You know, some people are loyal 100%, and then it ends up costing them. Some people are not loyal at all, and it ends up costing them.
Yeah.
So, you know, I delved into both dynamics, from the loyal to the disloyal. And, you know, and it was important for me to use this book to teach valuable lessons in it, because I had a conversation with God and it was like, you know I still have to do your work with this. So even though, you know, it's sordid and it's dramatic and it's raunchy and it's
all that
pretty, the overall message in it is there are consequences for your actions.
No, and I agree with you. You know, a lot of people read differently. Right. And people comprehend differently. But I got those underlying messages, which is why I was so pressed, as we say, to talk to you about this book, because, you know, the other part of that friendship are the female dynamics. Okay. And, you know, we women can go through some things with friendships. You got Melody and Stephanie, you got Tiana and Stacy, and you got Jackie and Simone. Lord have mercy. It just shows the dynamics of female friendship as it relates to jealousy, as it relates to envy, as it relates to honesty amongst one another, as well as respect. Okay. So I love the dynamics and the friendships that you put into Love and Dancehall, and also the awareness between Melody and Stacy. All right. Talk to us about those female friendships, and why it's so important, and that we keep ourselves open, because we never know how it may turn.
Ooh, you caught that. Good. You know,
I done told you I read with intent, hunty.
Good. I like that. I wanted to touch on the different aspects. So we have the friendships that don't necessarily work out. We have the friends that can tell each other anything, and I wanted to push that across, because with Melanie and Stephanie, they tell each other the truth. And they're brutal with each other, but neither one walks away like, you know what, screw her, F her. They just tell each other the truth, and the other person is like, you see them go into the thought process where they're like, but she's right. And it's almost like, again, a teachable moment. I have another, you know, with Jackie and Simone and their friendship, and, you know, it was like I told you so type of moment, but they were still able to maintain their bond. So I wanted to show, you know, the different aspects of what we go through as females, but
because it's real,
still keeping them together.
And I love that part, because all of that is real. The jealousy, the envy that we may sometimes feel for one another, the competitiveness that we may do towards one another. If you could still find that friend where none of that matters, or you get through that and realize the love that you can truly have. I love it. I love it so much. You know, dance hall has been around, as you said, since forever, the 80s, the 90s. And one thing I like about Love and Dancehall is that it shows kind of the inside operations as it relates to dancehall. You've been in the business for 20 years. You've seen it ebb and flow. One thing that I do love about Ida Blanco is that, just like now, right, we have the Democratic vice presidential pick, Kamala Harris. Yay. And I mean, regardless of what we thought or think, right? It is nevertheless history in the making. It is a woman who, despite all odds, has risen to what she deems as success, and who knows, it may even be higher. So what do you hope to convey, as we did touch on a little bit, or share with the people about the women in dance hall, as far as them reaching their goals and dreams? Because they have goals and dreams. All of these ladies have goals and dreams.
They do. And I want to really explore that more in part 2, because part 1 is more like the crash and burn.
Yeah. We got to get it out.
It's going to be interesting to see where these characters go in part 2, because a lot of them had that aha moment towards the end. Like, you know, I'm the reason why a lot of these things have happened to me. So
Yeah.
why am I frozen on my end? Can you see me?
I can see you and hear you. Go, keep on
Okay.
going. It's gonna work itself out. Uh-oh, now I can't hear you. It's working it out. All right, hold on. Can you still hear me? If you can hear me, you
When
may
we
have to go out and come back in. Okay, all right, there you go. Now
let me jump off my
this is
Wi-Fi.
what happens with live sometimes. There you go.
Can you hear me now?
Uh-oh, you keep trying to come in and go out. That's what happens sometimes while we're in live on Instagram, while Ida E. Wells is trying to figure that out. It
I
is
don't know
your
what's going on.
homegirl,
Hear
Momo
me?
Love. Oh, you're back. Okay,
Yes.
good, good, good,
I think my
good.
Wi-Fi
All
just
right.
out a little bit. Sorry about that.
It's raining here, so I don't know.
Okay. So where were we?
So yeah, you were just touching on how you wanted to explore the women when they realize their aha moments.
Yes. So it'll be interesting to see where that goes in part two. It's going to be like,
Yeah,
you learned your lesson or didn't you? So
yeah.
I'm really excited to see where I go. I say it like it's a season of television coming up and we're all watching it. Like, it'll be interesting to see what happens,
Listen,
but it will. It will.
we listen, you know, okay, one last thing about the ladies, because I was very touched by the women in the book that you in Love and Dancehall. One thing I wanted to say about the women, you know, women receive all kinds of labels. You know, it's evident, it's real in this climate. You know, I'm sure in your life we get all kinds of labels, especially with these ladies. You know, they're dumb, they're stupid. It couldn't be me. If it was me, I would be doing this and that and the third. And you know, especially when a woman love a man, you know, the way that we can, especially a whatless one, you know, but Stacey was on her beam. You know, Stacey was doing some things. Stacey stood up and was that boss chick that many of us look to be. Even when I think about how strong you made her character, she had to put those big girl panties on and do some things that she didn't really know that she had the strength to do. Ida, are you Stacey? I think she's stuck again.
No, no, ma'am.
You are stuck, and you're not Stacey. You're not Stacey.
I'm not Stacy. Stacy's a better woman. Stacy is. I would have been
Okay.
out a long. Stacy's a better woman than me. No, no,
Okay.
no.
Well, you know, I enjoyed so many aspects of Love and Dancehall because you really brought out the elements that we all deal with. Another one was daddy issues.
And you know, I
Uh,
was going to say that I relate to Melody's character.
Melody.
I relate to her. You know, there was some I put into her storyline that does relate to me. So
Okay. Ah, we are stuck. We are stuck. Okay. All right. So Melody relates to
yeah,
you. Your Melody.
I don't know what's going on.
Okay. Tell you what.
But
I can hear you. We'll just, as long as I can hear you, it's good. We'll keep on going. So you're not Stacy, you're not Melody, but Melody has some of your experience.
yes, yes,
Okay.
yes, yeah. And
Tell you what, let me click you out. I'm gonna click you out and bring you back in.
okay.
Okay. Yeah, we're gonna just try to bring her back in and go ahead and request to come back in, Ida. That hopefully that will kind of erase all of that. Thank you guys for your patience. It's your homegirl, MoMo Love. We are here speaking with a dance hall promoter, businesswoman, entrepreneur. She's host, on-air personality, producer, and now author of Love and Dancehall, Ida Blanco, Ida E. Wells. Ida, come on back in when you're ready. We have just been going over Love and Dancehall, her first novel. It is the story of Rattie, who grew up in Kingston, Jamaica. He has gone through some things in life and was deported, and then he came back to U.S., and it just talks about the tale of love and dancehall. It's a gritty tale of sex, drugs, murder, and mayhem. The dramatic cast of characters, they do take you on a wild ride that leads to a shocking and dramatic ending. And we are speaking with Ida E. Wells about all of that. We had a little technical difficulty as it happens with Instagram, but we are back, and we thank you guys so much for hanging out and enjoying this time. So we were talking about daddy issues all throughout this book. Almost every character has it. And I love not only the
habit, a lot of habit, me included. So understanding now how that plays out in my life, I was able to use that in Melody's story to show how it's played out in hers.
I love it. I mean, like I said, Ida, you delved into so many aspects. It wasn't just a raunchy tale. It wasn't just sex, mayhem, and murder. You talk about abuse, emotional, physical. You also talk about, like we said, the daddy issues, as well as just, you know, women being together, men being together, and just all of the dynamics. You know, what is one of the most funniest parts of the book is how you put in media mix up.
That's the dance hall part. But, you know, a lot of people know that's a part of, especially DMV dance hall. So that was, you know, the dance hall dynamic that I had. I had to throw it in there.
You had to throw it in because it is also real. I mean, these things do happen. Things are posted up and the word gets around, and you got to go to that mix up.
Yep.
Ida, you keep saying that this is about fiction, and I know people can see themselves. Are you Stephanie?
No. And you know, I think a lot of people went into this with the perception that I was writing a tell-all book. And I have no desire to put people's business out there. I'm done. But I did pick things that we all can relate to, or things that we've seen, or things that happen in every dance hall environment. You know, even with the messing with somebody's husband and just showing how that plays out. Like, there's a lesson in every situation.
Everything.
There's a lesson in all of it. So it, no, people, no. I got folks like, okay, so who is Rattie? And I'm like, nobody.
Now, Roxy, I can't figure out who Roxy is, but
because Rattie is a figment of my imagination. That's who he is, and he is my favorite, absolute favorite character.
Now, why is Roxy your favorite?
I don't. I just because I feel like deep down he's a good guy. I feel that if he had maybe a different outcome in life, he probably would have been a different guy. But I think he's just a product of his environment. But, you know, deep down, he's a good guy. Even you see that with his relationship with Devin, where he's trying to shield Devin as much as he possibly can. Like, don't do what I do. I don't want to be a part of this. And being responsible for getting him out of the, you know, the ghetto and really helping him be a better person. Like, Rattie is the type of person who will give somebody the shirt off his back. But because of his environment and how he was raised, you know, there's that murderous aspect of him. But I feel like Rattie deep down is a really good guy.
You know what I do like about Rattie, though, and it's evident in a lot of our brothers today, the lack of guidance. You know, a lot of times people say women have that as well. And on top of daddy issues like regular, he saw something tragic happen with his daddy. So that on top of guilt, on top of
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, now we got a Rattie.
And that changed the course of his life. That one moment changed his life completely. And there's so many people that have that one traumatic moment happen to them that alters the course of their life.
Yes.
So he's
Yes.
gonna have his moment too, where he's gonna, have to really look in the mirror one of these days. But Rattie's he's my favorite. So I'm gonna say it now.
You know why? Because Rattie is all of us. Rattie is all of us. A traumatic moment can alter our life, and it can either take us right or left until we decide where we are going to take our course in life.
Amen.
So I like Rattie. I'm excited to see where he's gonna go.
Yeah, I'm excited, but some people can't escape their environment. So we'll see what happens to him.
Yeah.
I like to watch shows like Power. I recently started watching The Shy. Shows that really, they're gritty, and a lot of it is, you either have to make a change or decide to make a change, or
Yeah. Yeah.
So,
and I love that even though you're a visual person, you really went into this teachable moment. We talked at the top about, when you are really trying to find yourself, when you're trying to go a different path, that spiritual journey, having that faith. And when I think about Tiana and how Tiana through everything, Tiana reminds me that no matter what, every knee shall bow and every tongue shall confess.
Yep.
So, even though this is a fictional novel, and we talked a little about how faith drives you, what does faith translate? What were you expecting that faith of Tiana's to translate to the reader?
I think a lot of us grew up in church. And as we got older, we kind of strayed away from it. But in moments of despair or moments of distress, or when we're on our face, we always turn to God.
Yeah.
So it's going to be interesting to see what happens after. Like, you hit rock bottom, so you got on your knees like we all do. Are you going to continue, or are you going to get back up? And, so there's so many different ways that I could go with that, but it felt like it was important to throw the piece with her mom in there to show, and I think that happens with because a lot of people are really, I would say, discouraged or when it comes to the church. So I know my journey has been more of a spiritual one, which I will probably, put into future books, but yeah, it's going to be interesting to see what happens with that. But it's a foundation that a lot of us have, and we turn to in times of trouble. But we'll see what Tiana does. Part 2.
I can't wait to see her growth. I can't wait to see the growth of Rattie, or what more he's going to take us through.
He's going to take us through some drama. It's just
listen. Yeah. And can we talk about Auntie Maxine for a minute? Because she had me thinking one way, and Auntie Maxine went in the bag, honey. Can you talk about?
I'm surprised by that. That's.
I was like, hold on, let me go back. Did she say?
I did drop a couple clues, but no, without giving away any spoilers. But I wanted that out of left field surprise moment in the book. I tried to have as many of those surprise moments in a lot of the chapters, but that one, I wanted that.
No, that was the doozy.
Oh my God, are you serious?
Yes, ma'am. Yeah. That was the doozy, because it also goes to speak to how men and women relations, just when you think you in the clear, you all good. You skating, and here it comes. And girl, Ida E. Wells, you did the daggone thing. Listen, I was anticipating, I was excited because I'm one of those people that we don't really know one another.
Right.
We've known of each other over the years.
Yeah.
But I am one of those people that if I see you doing something, I want to support and I'm going to support. And I am so glad that I did support Ida E. Wells and Love and Dancehall. I urge all of you to go to loveanddancehall.com to purchase this. It is well worth your coin. It is well worth your time.
Listen,
And
I've had
I
folks
just
tell me
thank you,
they read
girl.
the book in like one night. They're like, I couldn't put it down. So I felt like it was great because when I read it, I'm like, wow, you really wrote this? But at the same time, you don't know how things are going to be received by others. I'm always confident in whatever I put out, but there's some people may like it, some people may not. I'm okay with that.
Yeah.
But so many people like, this was good. This is good.
It
Where's
is.
part 2? I have
It
people
is.
say, I'm coming to Atlanta because I know you got part 2 stashed somewhere over there.
It is.
To
It's good.
see so much support, because first, even the pre-orders far exceeded my expectations. Far, far, far. So to see so many people, and yes, there are people like, you know what, Ida, whatever you do, we support you. But I've had a lot of people buy this book just because. And
Of course.
but
That's okay.
huh?
That's okay.
That's okay. For more and more people. But the more
Yeah.
you guys go online and say, hey, this was a great book, the more people will be like, okay, let me see what this book is about. Let me order it. So I got a few months ahead of me of marketing and really trying to get it out there. But as far as like my network, like you guys have really stepped up and shown out with these books. So I words can't express my gratitude. Like I'm really, and to know that everybody finds the story so good, it's
It's very good. I'm sure that you have had many proud moments,
yeah.
and this is not the last of your proud moments.
This is
I want to
one of
thank.
the proudest moments for me. This is up there. I tell
Yeah.
people, I've said it a few times. Opium 2016, when I did it outdoors for the first time successfully, my women's empowerment brunch, and this book, within the
And
past, I would
class
say, within the past 3 to 4 years, those 3 moments have been top. I have a few
and
other
your coaching class,
coaching class, yeah. But when I say like, I was proud of myself with that. But like top proud moments,
Yeah.
yeah. This book is probably fighting neck and neck with Opium 2016.
I
Like
love it.
it took a lot. It took a lot. Everything else was easy for me to just figure out, but this and Opium, it really took a lot of time and energy, and it was worth it though. It was worth it.
Good. Let me ask you, Ida. You are a humongous motivator. Who motivates the motivator when she needs motivating? And also to the random person that just may click on this Instagram live TV and at this moment that may be feeling something, like what words can you tell them to just keep going, keep pushing?
Woo! Who motivates the motivator? That's a good one. For a long time, I felt like, I didn't have an Ida. Until I realized what I was searching for on the outside really should have come from within.
Oh,
So I motivate myself, but I have good people around me that are iron sharpens iron, that exchange of energy, that, that push, that, all of that. But for me, it's like when I need to figure something out, when I need to, because, somebody can push you and push you and push you and say, hey, Mo, go do this, go do that. But if you don't want to do it, you're not going to do it.
yeah,
That's
yeah,
got to come from within.
yeah.
So I think I have a lot of people come to me for advice a lot of times. I think because they see, okay, Ida, she gets knocked down, but she gets back up. She gets knocked down, but she gets back up. But for me, it's important for me to encourage people because a lot of people know I lost my brother to suicide.
Yeah.
So the things that I tell you guys is really things that I wish I could have told him, because no matter what, giving up is not an option. And
yeah,
I've been knocked down more times than I can count, but my energy goes into getting back up. So, this too shall pass is my favorite saying.
and I was going to ask you, that, like, is there a go-to quote, or when you wake up, is there something that you first see as your inspiration to help you get through the day?
The Four Agreements, the book, The Four. Have you read it?
No, I haven't.
You should get it. It's on Amazon. It's like $7.
Okay.
You will get a lot from it. But
Okay.
The Four Agreements, I have it written down and on my bathroom mirror.
Okay.
I will be impeccable with my word. I will not make assumptions. I will always do my best. And what is the fourth one? I don't know. I can't remember, but the book is right there. But the Four Agreements, my younger brother actually told me to read it. And I found it in his stuff after he passed away. And I read it then, and then I reread it twice since then. And that's really like the laws that I really govern myself by.
Okay.
Be impeccable with your word. And that has a lot to do itself. So I want you to get that book.
I will.
I
will.
It's Don Miguel Ruiz. It's on Amazon for like $7. Get it. Once you get it and read it, hit me up. We can talk about it after.
Okay.
But that book is a life changer for me.
Awesome. I will. Ida Blanco, Ida E. Wells, author of Love and Dancehall. I want to thank you so much, my queen. Any final words?
Buy the book.
Period.
Tell a friend to buy the book. I have a great opportunity that may be in front of me, but I really want to be able to sell a huge number of units so I have more bargaining leverage when I get to the table. So please, you guys, head over to loveanddancehall.com, buy the book. I ship them out daily. The USPS system right now is going through some stuff because of Trump. But I do try to ship them out at least by the next day. I've had folks order today and I ship it out today. So buy the book. I want your feedback. I'll be having a virtual book club soon. I want to give folks enough time. So I'm thinking 2 weeks from now, 2 Saturdays from now, maybe. I'm going to do a virtual book club. So stay tuned for that. I'll advertise that on my page. But
we'll definitely look out for it. And for the millions of you, you can expect this novel. What you can expect out of this novel is it's a page turner. It keeps you on the edge of your seat. Yeah. All of the characters are somebody you know, not literally, but they are someone you know. You can get something out of this book. It is educational, it is informative, it is exciting, and I am so glad. My biggest takeaway from Love and Dancehall, Ida E. Wells, is that the way you left things, we probably should have been off this phone a long time ago so you could be on the computer getting out number 2. Now, what's going on?
I warned you guys. I'm like, look, there's a major cliffhanger. Like, don't kill me. But this is going to be a trilogy. So, book 2, I'm going to do the same thing again. But
all right. So when can we expect it? I mean, no pressure, no pressure, but
some time to get part 1 out there as far as I possibly can. I'm going back to work. We started today, so I'll be filming and working until later on this year, the winter. So I think once I get that winter break, I will start working. I've already started jotting down ideas for each character. So probably by the time it's time for me to sit down and write, I probably would have a pretty good outline down. But it's not gonna take 2 years, I promise.
Okay, because I was gonna say,
because I understand the writing process more now.
Yeah.
So it's definitely not going to take 2 years, but I am going to take my time to make sure that it's good because I have to outdo this one.
You have to.
I have to. I
You
really
cannot be a
want
one-hit wonder.
or at least measure up to this.
Yes.
Like I came
Well,
out
the Ida E. Wells that I know, I'm sure it will exceed our expectations. I cannot wait. Again, my sister, I thank you so much. I look forward to not only part 2 of Rattie and all of the characters in Love and Dancehall, but I also look forward to the many things that you, Ida E. Wells, Ida Blanco, will be putting out, because I know that it will be awesome, beautiful, wonderful, and
Well,
exceed.
I want to get into production,
Oh,
or producing my own content. So that's something I said I wanted to do starting next year. I'm still learning a lot in
okay.
television world, so I want some more experience. But I do have a lot of ideas that I want to start putting out short, not really movies, but I want to do docu-series type of
Okay.
content. So I turned Saggio into a production company. It's now a production company, and this is the first project that it's produced. But yeah, I definitely want to get into, not want to, I'm going to,
Will be, yes.
I
Because
will
words matter.
putting out visual content soon. So look out
Yes.
for that.
Words definitely matter, right?
They do. They
Yeah.
do. Death and
Yeah.
life lie in the power of the tongue. I firmly
Yeah.
believe that. And we can speak
Yeah.
things into existence. Um, dreams come true.
Yes.
This is a dream come true. It's just
Yeah.
understanding it doesn't happen on your time. It happens on God's time. So
Yes, ma'am.
if I could do this, ladies and gentlemen, anyone can.
Yes. Yes.
That's what I believe. So
My queen, my sister, again, thank you so much.
thank you.
Love and Dancehall, again, can be found where?
Loveanddancehall.com. Love A-N-D dancehall.com.
Yes. Thank you so much.
Thank you, darling. Thanks
Blessings.
for having me.
Bye-bye.